Can you hear me?
We are at the intersection with Warner recording artist. You know him for his album Dark Horse, his singles Dark Horse, All on Me, Asking for a Friend. Devin Dawson, welcome to our frozen tundra of Michigan today.
Yeah, thank you. It is still snowing up here. Nashville is actually starting to warm up, so it's like we're going back in time. I thought we had escaped the winter, but we got a couple more days of it, but I'm not complaining. It's good to be back.
So let's go back to the beginning. You started playing bass in a metal band called Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
What made you really want to be at the forefront and in such a different genre?
At the forefront, like meaning like write my own songs? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Writing your own songs and then
Being
singing
the
and
guy.
being up front,
Right.
the person that everybody's really they're focusing on.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. As you start as a bass player, you kind of sign up to be in the background, which I love too. Because even as a songwriter, I don't mind being in the background. But I think, I don't know. I wrote all of the music, most of the music in the band, in the metal band I was in. So I still like got to experience people like react to something that I had created, and I thought that was really cool. I think when I moved to Nashville, I started writing songs that I didn't. That one, I don't think anyone else could have sang because it was so personal to me, but also that I didn't want to give up because I felt like precious about it, you know? And so I think that was one of the first signs of like, well, I guess I should sing these for myself and I should release them for myself. And I guess what comes with wanting to share something is that you have to put yourself out on that pedestal, you know? You have to be the voice and the face and all that. It kind of just comes with it. Not that I didn't want to, but I don't know if it was for the reasons of being the front man, being the guy, being the one in the spotlight or whatever. It wasn't because I wanted to or because I didn't want to. I think it just was a product of wanting to share the songs that I was proud of, you know.
Okay, almost out of necessity then.
Yeah, I think so. I did that Taylor Swift cover too in college when I was at Belmont with one of my friends, Louisa, and I think that was a good taste of something that, like, as an artist, something I did that people appreciated and that they like accepted and that they took it in, you know. And the feeling of somebody liking something that you put out as an artist is pretty contagious. It's pretty addicting, I guess, you know. You wanna please people. You wanna have affirmation for the work that you created out of thin air, and that was a little bit of a taste of it that I think I wanted to keep that rolling, you know.
Yeah. So with talking about that songwriting and sharing that, the new single is Dark Horse, the title track of the record. Is there any nerves in releasing a song that could be so vulnerable to you, talking about your life and just releasing what is essentially your story?
No, I don't know. I never thought about being nervous. I think I've been waiting for that moment. For me, it's like, as a new artist, I think you need a song or an elevator pitch or one moment that you can say, like, this is who I am. You know, if you don't have the attention or the time to be able to dig into the whole album, here's one song to sell you on who I am, or at least get you an idea rather than trying to sell you, you know. I don't think there was any nerves at all. For some reason, I like being vulnerable. I think the reason I like being vulnerable is because the reason I started writing songs was to communicate feelings that I didn't know how, like just in a conversation or you know, like about relationships or things. And so I think songs are a way for me that I've found that I can communicate there, that I can say whatever I want, or that I can be vulnerable without the repercussions of, you know, the nerves of just talking about how you feel. I think if I hide behind a guitar or a song, like I always say, I feel like I can say whatever I want, and for some reason it makes it okay for me.
Speaking of Dark Horse, the video came out this week. Super cool.
What'd you think?
I loved it. My mom and I were on FaceTime, like waiting, counting down for it to come out. And it didn't interfere with Bachelor Monday time either.
That's good.
So, I
Yeah,
mean,
we
you
planned
killed
that, right?
it there.
We planned that, right?
Obviously. Yeah. Where did the idea come from behind the video?
So the actual concept of it was a treatment that was written by the director. His name's Justin Clough. He did the All on Me video as well. So we already had a history and a chemistry and a trust and a friendship. And so he knew me really well because we just hung out as friends and traveled together. And so when it came time for the Dark Horse video, I kind of asked him, like, what do you think visually? What would you do here, you know? And honestly, he did a first treatment that I hated because it, like, had a horse in it. And I was like, I don't like the imagery of the horse. It's not about a horse. It's about what the dark horse represents, you know? It's not necessarily literal. And so he was like, okay, I'll try again. And he came back with this concept, and I was like, this is absolutely perfect. I think there's some simplicity but deepness in the parallels between a recording studio and an interrogation room. And I think that the concept is surface level enough to where you can instantly put those together and just watch it as a beautifully done video. Or you can dig deeper and find all the similarities and all the little pieces of the video that are the same in the first scene and the last scene. And yeah, I don't know. I think he just did a really good job of allowing the listener to choose how far in they wanted to go, but that not needing to be something that was necessary for you to enjoy the video.
As a songwriter, you've had some cuts for other people lately. Mitchell Tenpenny, Truck I Drove in High School, Tyler Rich, his single that just cracked top 20 with The Difference. Is there a song that really stands out that you wrote for somebody else that either you're super proud of or maybe you wish you would have kept for yourself looking back now?
I mean, I'm really proud of the truck I drove in high school. I relate to that because I have driven a truck for a long time, but it just wasn't quite my sonic identity, and Mitchell always says, he says, thank you for not cutting that song. I'm proud of that one, man. That's a good song. It's a fun song. Sometimes it's hard to get lyrics and melody and energy and all of that, and that's a song that does have that. I have a song coming out soon, which I actually got some good news about it today that I can't really talk about, but you will hear about it very soon, and that's one that I'm really, really proud of. It's going to be the biggest song that anybody else has recorded that I've written since forever. So I'm really excited about it. Not to be cryptic, but you'll hear about it soon.
I can't wait to hear about it. Also, I'm obsessed with Truck I Drove in High School side now. That's what made me buy the entire
I love
album.
that song so much.
Do you have someone that sticks out as a favorite person to write with?
I like writing with my brother a lot. I have a twin brother who's on All On Me with me. Austin, my guitar player, wrote All On Me with me as well, and I love writing with him. I like to write with my friends. Sometimes it's nice to disrupt the creative process a little bit and get out of your comfort zone and write something different. But my brother and I have been playing music since we were 12, and there's just something about the way we know each other so well that we are not afraid to either put our foot down or say, I don't think this is right or whatever. We were born to create together, and so I love writing with my brother.
And you've had so many awesome things come with this first record, playing the Opry, single success, first headlining tour. So what would be your biggest Mama I Made It moment so far?
Biggest Mama I Made It moment? I don't know, I thought The Tonight Show, playing on The Tonight Show was pretty big. I always go back to just having an album out. First of all, it's just such a big thing for me. I spent so much of my life and so much time as a solo artist, I'm coming out, it's coming soon, it'll be here soon, And so just to have an album out and a body of work that represents me is something I'll never take for granted. But Jimmy Fallon was pretty dope, and playing the Opry for the first time is super iconic.
What do you want to be your next big Mama I Made It moment? What's your next big goal?
Next big Mama I Made It moment. Man, I think having a number one album would be cool. Dark Horse got to number 3 or 2 or 3 or something like that. And so I think it would be cool to have an album. As a guy that loves to write albums and make albums, I think it would be cool to have that top the charts at some point. Or going home and playing a big old sold out show as a headliner in my hometown would be cool too.
It's obviously a conversation all the time with females having struggles getting radio play, and I've noticed that you definitely have been somebody championing for women, bringing women out on your tours to open for you pretty darn often. Do you have any favorite country females right now?
I mean, Jillian Jacqueline, obviously. We just wrapped up the Stray Off Course tour, which was the first headlining tour I had ever done, and Jillian came out with us to open up the shows, and we've been friends and writers and collaborators for a long time, and she is unearthly talented, and her voice and her writing and her awareness as a person and as an artist is unrivaled. So Jillian is definitely on that list. Another new girl, her name is Kaylee Hammock, and I'm just obsessed. I don't know, she just has a really unique voice and this kind of badass honesty that I think a lot of girls, find it hard to find that figurative voice, and she does it really well, so I'm excited to hear more songs from her. She has a single out called Family Tree right now. Check it out. I really do pride myself on my music taste, I guess. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, you told me Leah's song was going to be incredible a while ago. So good.
Just a little preview on that is my girlfriend Leah Sykes she's going to release an acoustic version of it, and I play guitar on it. So.
Oh, okay. I seen you guys were collaborating on something a while ago.
Yep.
Yeah, she's insanely talented in her own right
So
as
good.
well. Every guy in country music seems to have his opinion on this these days. Michael Ray, Russell Dickerson, Ryan Hurd. They're all talking about The Bachelor, so I gotta ask if you're following along at all. He had your song playing on his story the other day. Colton had All on Me on it, so I gotta know if you're keeping up on it at all.
I didn't watch last week because I had the video premiere stuff. Leah and I missed it, but we've been watching it every week. I mean, it's easy to hate on that show because it is so dramatic, but it's so entertaining, and I don't know. Colton brings a fresh perspective to The Bachelor, obviously with, being a virgin or whatever, all the other things that he is, and I don't know. I respect his ability to just be okay with being who he is and like not trying to embellish anything. Like he's just okay in his own skin, and like you can tell that when there's drama going on, and he's just like, man, I don't live with drama in my life. He's like, we're just gonna get this out of here, I have my feelings on who I think's gonna win. Is it Hannah B? Which one is she?
Hannah, that one's from Alabama. The one she.
No, Hannah G. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Which one's Hannah G?
She's also from Alabama.
Is she blonde? Are they both blonde?
Honey, they're all blonde.
I know, right? I think she's gonna win.
I think you're
One of
probably
one of
headed in the
Hannahs.
right direction there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I don't admit to knowing every little detail, but I do watch it, and I think it's entertaining, and I appreciate Colton. So,
I've got some rapid fire questions.
All right,
Are you ready for this? 2 things on your tour rider.
hummus and coconut water.
First concert.
Paul McCartney with my brother. Yeah.
Biggest pet peeve.
Slow people.
1 thing on your bucket list.
Grand Canyon. Still never been to the Grand Canyon.
Favorite snack.
I like those little veggie straws, the veggie strip straw things.
Dream collaboration.
Dream collaboration. I think it'd be really cool to do something with Taylor Swift one day, since she kind of helped give me a little jump start in the beginning of my career. It'd be a cool full circle moment.
You don't do cover songs, but if you were to do a cover song, what would it be?
I grew up listening to Black Sabbath, and there's a song called War Pigs that is super iconic, and I'm trying to get my band to jam it out. Do you know that song? You probably wouldn't, but it's like generals gathered in the masses, just like witches at black masses. I don't know, it just has a thing to it. It's cool. As a band, want to jam it out.
That would be awesome. Favorite childhood TV show?
Favorite childhood TV show? I'm not being very good at rapid fire right now. Probably, what's the one with Mr. Feeney?
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World, yes.
That is a solid answer.
Yep.
First celebrity crush?
Topanga. Going with it, right? You got to.
Something that you and your twin brother Jacob cannot agree on?
Mostly everything, usually. He likes to argue a lot, so I think cleanliness is a good one. I like to keep it clean, and he's a slob, so there you go.
And you've been teasing some new songs out on tour this year. Mm-hmm. Dark Horse is a year old now. Mm-hmm. Besides your cryptic message earlier, can you say anything about when we can expect new music from you?
Hopefully by the middle of the year. I think that I've been really spending a lot of my time touring, and as much as I'm an antsy guy that has written hundreds of songs that want to get more music out, I think it's important to make sure I have the whole project right, because I don't want to rush anything out, and I want to have the best quality for the fans and for the family, because they deserve it. So as much as I'm literally ready right now, it's up to making sure that the product is ready before I get there. So it might take a little longer than I want or that everyone else wants, but it will be worth it.
Thank you so much for your time, Devin. We're here in Grand Rapids at Elevation tonight, here with Devin Dawson.
Cheers.